Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the LTSS webinar for, I guess it's July. Kind of crazy, huh? We're just going to wait for everybody to come in. It takes a couple minutes for our participants to come into the webinar. We're so happy that everybody is here today. We'll just give everybody a couple minutes. We do have live transcript going, so if you're having a little bit of trouble hearing us, at least you can read at the bottom what our event is all about. And we have a whole bunch of people coming in right now, and we're so happy that you're here. My name is Cindy Cummings, and I am a member of LT Senior Services. I'm one of the co-founders. We had many founders, one of which was Barker Keith, and today his partner is here to talk, and we're so excited to have them here today to be talking about, do you ever feel dizzy? And it's ironic, we had somebody who wanted to come and they couldn't attend because they were going to a doctor's appointment for dizziness. So it's something that happens to all of us. One thing we do want to share with you is that all of our webinars are on YouTube. So we are YouTube famous. We're so excited. We've just become so technologically advanced through all of COVID. But you can go to YouTube and go to LT Senior Services, and you can see all of our webinars that we've had the past 2 years on YouTube. So we're so excited that you're here today. LT Senior Services is designed as a Lake Travis resource to serve and engage aging adults and their families. And we're a nonprofit. We have about 40 members. We're a 501c3 of about 40 members, and we'll have some members, I think, in today that we'll welcome in, and they'll talk about their businesses and how they support the needs of older adults in Lake Travis. But we have over 40 members, and our goal is really to help older adults, and we do that by a couple different ways. One is to offer educational webinars. We used to hold them at the Lake Travis Library, and they are a great supporter of ours, and they have some fantastic programming. If you haven't looked at their programs, they're really, really great. But we started out in the library, and then with COVID, we went to webinars. We had our webinars for a while. I think we were doing them once a week because we had a lot of information about COVID that we were trying to get out. We actually did some food drives and tried to get food to people who were shut in, who didn't know how to use the apps to be able to order food. We had a lot of people who donated money. HEB gave us money and went and bought food and distributed it to our shut-ins who weren't able to get out. So we did that during COVID. One of the other things that we've been doing is a shred day, and we like to hold those after the tax after we've done our taxes and everybody has all their documents that they're ready to shred. Our next one's going to be October 18th. Barker Keith is a big supporter of ours. It's actually held in his parking lot there. So that'll be October 18th. And then we have our annual Aging Well Expo. That's going to be on September 27th. We will be administering the flu shot. So just bring your insurance cards, and there'll probably be some kind of sign up to get your flu shot on that day. But we have a great group of speakers on that particular day, and we'll have exhibitors there, and it's all about aging well and ideas on how to age well. Our major sponsor is Alzheimer's Texas. They have been a great supporter of our group, and they're going to be talking about ways to help age well with your brain. So we're super excited that they are one of our sponsors again. Let's see, next month, we are going to be talking about retirement living and how do you pay for it. It's going to be on August 9th. And the topic is really, it's just talking about moving into active adult or independent living senior communities, and also assisted living long-term. And our speakers or panelists are going to be talking about what the costs are and how you can pay for it. And some of our experts are Jeremy Self. He's with Edward Jones. So he's going to be talking from his perspective about ways that you can prepare so that you'll be able to pay for that type of living if that's something that you want to do. Another speaker is going to be John Brown. He's with Oasis Senior Advisors of Austin and Central Texas. And he has a wealth of knowledge about all the different types of senior livings, what they cost, just a whole bunch of information that he'll be able to share. And then Ray Daniels is with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and he's going to talk about products such as a reverse mortgage as a way to help pay for care. And I've seen this used before when you had a couple and one needed to have memory care, for example, and they didn't have a way to pay for it. So they were able to do reverse mortgages to help pay for that additional care. So that is a really creative way to use use your savings account, which is basically your house. So that's going to be in August. And now what I'd like to do is just find out if I have any LT Senior Service members that would like to come in and say, hey, say hello. And I'm looking through my list here to see if I have anybody. Scrolling. I do not see anybody, but if there is a member of LT Senior Services and you'd like to say hey to everybody, would you just go into the chat and say hello? While I'm waiting to see if anybody does want to come in, just to give you kind of a format of our webinar today, what we'll do is Melody will be talking, as she has some PowerPoint slides that she's going to go through talking about dizziness, and then we're going to have, she's going to be demonstrating some things. That's pretty exciting. So we're going to be able to go into her center and she'll be showing us some ideas about how to help with dizziness. And then the whole time I'll be monitoring the chat area. And so if you have any questions, you can put your questions in there. We really do encourage you to ask questions. And I'll say, hey, Melody, I got a question from so-and-so, and she'll answer those questions for us in there. And I am not seeing anybody in the chat who has said that they want to talk. So I think we're pretty good. So Melody, do you want to come in? Go ahead and bring yourself in. Oh, I did have a beautiful graphic that I forgot to bring in. Hey, Melody, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to see you. I'm going to read your official bio. It's very impressive, and I think people would like to learn this about you. Of course, you're located right there in Lakeway, but you started swimming competitively in your hometown of San Angelo at the age of 5. You were a state champion butterflyer in high school and a scholarship swimmer at Lamar University. Your summers were spent teaching swimming lessons, lifeguarding, and coaching swim teams. After college, she pursued a passion for all things aquatic. In 1985, she started Swim Masters, a successful swim school. Her innovative teaching practices led to the development of educational seminars for swim instructors and aquatic program managers. These continuing education programs have become endorsed by the American Red Cross, National Parks and Recreation, National Jewish Community Centers, Boys and Girls Clubs, National Swim Association, National Swim Teachers Association, and various health and wellness centers. She was awarded Swim Teacher of the Year in 1996 and 1997 by the National Swim School Association and National Swim Teachers Association. Today, she is a nationally known speaker and consultant, and she has written 2 swim instructor manuals and produced 2 Learn to Swim videos. In 2000, Dr. Melody started Lakeway Aquatic Physical Therapy. She went on to obtain her physical therapy assistant's degree from Austin Community College, then her master's in psychology and her PhD in physical therapy from Newman University. Lakeway Aquatic Physical Therapy is the actualization of Melody's commitment and vision for pursuing excellence in aquatic therapy and helping others live a healthy lifestyle through aquatic movement. Wow. There you go.
I know. There you go.
What was so interesting to read about all the swimming, I have had the opportunity to utilize your services when I had my knee replaced not that long ago. I would say probably the thing that you used the most on me was the psychology, because there's a lot of psychology that goes into when you're repairing. I know I said many times, I can't do that. And you would say, yes, you can. And you got me back up running, and I'm so appreciative. But today we're talking about dizziness. And I think that you have a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to display. So I'm going to go off screen, and then I'll just kind of holler at you if we have any questions as we're going through. But I'm just going to let you take it away.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. So good morning to everybody. Hi. I hope everybody's well today and you're having a good day. It's Tuesday, and yes, I know it's very hot out there, but you know, it is Austin, Texas. We're used to the heat. So today we're talking about stopping dizziness, stopping vertigo. And, you know, again, people always say, hey, you know, I'm dizzy. Why does it happen? What happens with dizziness? You know, again, there's a lot of reasons for dizziness. There's blood pressure issues. There's inner ear issues. There's brain issues. And then there's otolith issues. And I'm going to try to change here. There we go. So today, what we're going to talk about is really just dizziness, but I'm going to try to break it down for you a little bit. I'm going to try to make it to where that this is a little more interactive. I'm going to go through some basics of vertigo and dizziness and kind of give you some ideas and things like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back in the clinic and I'm going to show you how we're all going to get up out of our chairs and do a little bit of testing for balance and just dizziness testing. And then I'm going to actually have you go through what we call a Dix Hall pipe, which is the start of a treatment for your dizziness and vertigo. And again, dizziness, you know, many people have. I mean, it's estimated that pretty much 80 or 90% of the population at one point will experience dizziness. But the reason why I wanted to bring this one in to the senior services is basically because dizziness happens a lot as we age, right? And as we age, we have a lot of different issues, dizziness being a very common one. Again, my name is Dr. Melody Keith. I am a vestibular therapist. Okay, and yes, I know you heard all that stuff about the aquatic stuff. And yes, I am a certified aquatic therapist, but I'm also a vestibular therapist. And what is a vestibular therapist? Okay, again, the vestibular therapist is one that understands the entire vestibular system. And then what is the vestibular system? What does it do? So just kind of giving you a broad overview of what happens, okay, is that the dizziness is both sensory and motor, right? It tells the brain where you are in space, right? So move your head with me, go up, right? What happens when you move your head is your eyes automatically acclimate to that. What happens when you turn your head up and turn your head around? Automatically, quick as you can do it, your eyes are adjusting to what's happening. It's telling your brain that your head moved. And then it also is controlling what's going on in the head. So the vestibular system is a very, very complex system. And again, I don't mean to try to take you through this process too quickly, but I have some major points that I want to explain to you today, because not only am I a vestibular therapist, but I'm also a certified concussion therapist. So in other words, the reason why a lot of people have issues with dizziness, number one, can be from a fall. It's also aging. There's, many other osteoporosis, things like that cause the dizziness. But when the vestibular system, our balance system, how you move in space is affected, then it affects what happens in our brain. And that's where today I'm going to try and explain a little bit about the vestibular system and how really powerful it is. Because people think of the vestibular system is really just motion and keeping your orientation, right? But that's not all it does. Again, it's very powerful. It uses our vision, and then it uses our motor coordination, and it uses our balance systems, all of our systems for balance that we use every day. And so that's why one of our big tests is balance. Do you have balance issues? And we see this a lot in the clinic where people come in and they're really, dizziness is really not one of their major factors. They're saying, great, I've got a balance issue. I can't walk on uneven terrain anymore. I can't move like I used to. I can't do things that I want to do. I feel like my balance is off. And that's a cue for us to say, wait a minute, is it really your balance or is it your vestibular system, right? So again, purpose of the vestibular system, it's a sensory and a motor. It does both senses and motor systems. And it helps with balance. It helps with posture. It helps with position. It's a big guy, right? Equilibrium, things that help you with your balance. So within the balance system, then we've talked about vision. We've talked about, the sight. We've talked about a little bit about proprioception. Touch is included in this. And so is the motion and the movement of what's happening in the world of the vestibular system. But what I want to do is kind of talk to you a little bit about today about what is called BPPV. And this is an inner ear issue. And what this is, and again, people started hearing all these big terms and they go, what is that? But I think it's good to kind of understand that it is a benign issue. In other words, it's not life-threatening. Paroxysmal, which is a recurrent, right? I get dizzy a lot. And I feel like, that just movements cause me dizziness. And then positional, and then vertigo. Position is your body orientation and your vertigo. So we're going to hone in on just one of the types of reasons that you may be dizzy. And so as we get into the dizziness and what's happening with the dizziness and understanding that it is both input and output of not only the brain, not only the eyes, but not only how you can touch and how your balance is, how you're standing, how you're moving, how you're going in space. So again, you start thinking, okay, this all seems very, very complicated, Melody. Well, again, it is, and it does take someone that is trained to do this. But when you get right down to it, there's some things that I can teach you and can train you, even if you're a caregiver of someone that is dizzy, or if you are experiencing some dizziness yourself. And that's where I want to be able to try to help you out there to kind of understand what type of dizziness you have and can this help. And so I put this up, because I think it's just so interesting for people to understand how very, very intricate the vestibular system is. And a lot of people, it scares. But again, when you start looking back at it, and you see you've got your ear here, you've got and if you see right in here, these are your little semicircular canals. This is what tells where your body and your head and your position are in space, right? It has your nerves. So it's telling your nerves, telling your brain where you're at. And then it has a motor output also. And again, because all of this is connected with your cochlear, right? Your hearing, that when you have hearing loss, when you have aging, when you have balance issues, and then all of a sudden you get BPPV, then you start having more and more dizziness. And the dizziness comes from the ear rocks. So if we have seen, if we have understood a little bit about what's going on, right? So even if you're here listening to this Zoom call or meeting that we're on right now, even if you're sitting here saying, I don't experience dizziness, but I have a friend that does. So maybe at this point, you can kind of explain what it is. Now, for those of you that actually do have some dizziness, I'm hoping that this kind of explains a little bit about how intricate this system is and how that you can do some things at home to help yourself, right? So we started here, we've kind of gotten into the inner ear part in the semicircular canals. And then you're saying, okay, well, my dizziness, is it coming from blood pressure, right? Is it coming from my inner ear problem? Is it coming from the brain? Or is it coming from my otoliths? And the otoliths are the ones that live down here into our inner ear. And these are your three little semicircular canals. And you have one on each side, okay? We're not going to spend too much because I know y'all are going, whoa, this is way too technical. But I think it's interesting for people to kind of understand that in the brain, again, when your head moves forward, back, up and down, side to side, all these little canals that are in here, anterior, posterior, and horizontal, tell you where you are in space. But what happens is you've got these little utricle and saccular things just on the other side of your cochlea, of your hearing. And those things have what we call otoliths in them. And inside there, those are the little ear rocks. How many of you have heard of the ear rocks before and had someone that said, well, you know, I got ear rocks, so I'm getting dizzy. I've got the ear rocks. And that's kind of the term for the day. I want to kind of say this is the term for the day, otoliths, ear rocks. And you'll see that what happens on the otoliths is that they are our mechanism that helps us to do that sensory, that motor and sensory information. And sitting right on top of those little hairs here, you see those little hairs, are all these little rocks. The rocks, the otoliths. So let's talk a little bit about the rocks. And the rocks on top of the ears, eventually with a fall, with age, I see it a lot in motor vehicle accidents. I see it a lot with people who have osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. So as you age or as you have something in your system that causes these little ear rocks, these little ear otoliths to chip off and break. And so a portion of it goes into the fluid-filled sacs into your inner ear canals. And I'm going to keep flipping back and forth so that you kind of understand. These are the little canals, your semicircular canals that tell us. So, but what happens is that in here, all of our little hairs and rocks, the rocks kind of come off, the ear rocks come into the semicircular canal. So, and again, I'm going to go through it again, right? That's why I left all these. This is a benign, this is not life-threatening. You are not going to die. Although I've had patients that come in here with this and feel like they're going to die anytime they bend down to pet their pet, or anytime they go and hose the grass and they're like, whoa, I can't do this anymore. I can't, I'm getting dizzy. I got to sit down. And they get to the point where, number one, then they stop moving as much. They stop moving their head. They stop trying to do things. And guess what? In the semicircular canal, though, that fluid gets less and less mobile, and it probably fills up with more and more rocks. Now, again, there's no way to kind of tell where the rocks are and what's going on. I can tell it as a vestibular therapist. So when you see me do the test, I will be looking at your eyes to see, because again, the eyes tell everything in a vestibular therapist. So that's where I look at the eyes and I can tell through the eye movements where the rocks are going and which canal it's going to go into. But lucky for us, most of them do go into the posterior canal. As they come in, they kind of track along this little track here and go into the posterior canal. And that's what we're going to be treating today. So here's your rocks right here. And again, explaining about BPPV. So this is a positional thing. This is where, as a therapist, when you tell me, gosh, I rolled over in bed and I got dizzy. And I say, how long does it last? And oh, well, not very long, but oh, it sure scares the bejeebers out of me. I am just so scared. I can't believe it. So, well, what do? I stop bending over now, and I just try not to move my head very much. Okay. All right. And so then I ask more, and I say, well, when's another time that it occurred? Oh, I went to the dentist, and and guess what? I got dizzy again. And I'm saying, okay, all right. And then what happened? Well, I sat back up, I rested a little bit, and it went away pretty quick. So it went away. Great. Okay. And then I asked other things. What other things do you notice? You know, do you notice that if you're driving in a car, is that a thing that makes you dizzy? And most of the time they'll say, no, it's just bending over, lifting up, rolling in bed, looking at the moon at night. I can tell you all kinds of things, but I'm just trying to give you some ideas of what is happening with this. Again, it's a reoccurrent and sudden thing, right? So it doesn't last very long. And I know when I have my clients always tell me, I know. They always tell me, Melody, I'm dizzy. I'm going to fall off. And they're so scared, but it lasts for under a minute, way under a minute. And when it lasts under a minute, then they come back and they go, okay, it's getting better. I feel better. Okay, I'm feeling better. Now, can you get nauseous from this? Of course. You've got your phrenic nerve here. So, sometimes when you get dizzy, you're going to get nauseous. Again, that goes back to what we had talked about is it's telling the brain what's going on. The brain's going, wait, you're spinning. You shouldn't be spinning. It's trying to equalize you. It's trying to stop it. And then you're trying to calm it down, and then it comes down, and then you're better. And it's related to body position. And it can give you the motion of either rotation, like you're spinning, or the room spinning. I've even had people say that it kind of waves like this, So again, the big thing is that we know that it's an inner ear issue. We know that it's related to our semicircular canals, right? Related right into that cochlear, related to the semicircular canals, and it's related to the otoliths, the ear rods, right? So what I want to do, as I said, I'm trying to make this a little more hands-on-y and movement stuff. So what we're going to do, I've got some example questionnaires, because when you come into the office, when you come in, as you always know, when you come to see a doctor, you have to fill out a lot of paperwork. Well, some of that paperwork is to help me to understand what's happening with you as a patient, especially if you come in and say, I'm dizzy. So there's going to be key points that I want to find out about. And I put these up because what I want you as an audience to do is to be able to go back and go, wait a minute, I have that problem. When I bend over, I'm petting my dog and I come back up, I'm a little bit dizzy. It's not bad, and it only lasts maybe 5 or 10 seconds. It's not bad. I just live with it. Guess what? You don't have to live with it. we're going to show you at the end of this talk how to do this on your own. Sounds fun. And the great thing about it, remember what I told you, this is not life-threatening. And even if you do not experience dizziness and you do not have dizziness, the test that we're going to do, the balance test that we're going to do, the head shake test that we're going to do, and the Dick's Hole pipe test into the treatment for BPPV is good for you. It's good for you to lay down, move your head and neck and get everything moving, right? It's a good thing. It's not life-threatening. It's actually good for your vestibular system, because as a vestibular therapist and a concussion therapist, we know that if you keep working on your vestibular system, oh, guess what? It helps. It helps your proprioception, your motion, your orientation, your eye movements, your equilibrium, your posture, your balance. Oh my gosh, the vestibular system is so cool. It does so much, and it's something that you can work on at home. And really, everybody should be working on it, because as we've already experienced, right, that it is a complicated system that relies on information taken in from your eyes, from your feet and your vision, your stance, from your body posture. It goes to the brain. It tells what the brain is doing. It tells where your head, your arms are. It tells where your head is. It tells where your body's going and keeps you into balance, right? So it's an important system in the whole world of balance, right? So we got our canals. There's our little ear rods. So again, the otoliths are just something that I think, you know, as a lot of my patients say, growing old is not for sissies, right? Growing old is not for sissies. It's not. It isn't. But again, this is something that you can work with at home and you can do something about. And the great part about it with this knowledge is if you have someone that says, oh man, you know, I used to really like going out walking the dog and petting the dog, or I used to go out and pick in the garden. I can't even bend over in the garden anymore. If I bend over and sit up, I'm dizzy. So I stopped gardening. I've stopped doing this. I've stopped doing that because of my dizziness. You can say, hey, guess what? That is treatable and it's very easy to do. And guess what? If you try it at home and it doesn't really work all that well, or maybe it works a little bit and doesn't work a little bit, you can come in and we can work on it, okay? Usually I can help this condition in 2 to 3 treatments. And that's with you doing your homework too. So, all right, getting back to otoliths. Do we have any questions so far? Anybody? Do we have any questions?
I don't see any at this time, but if people do have them, put them in the chat or the question and answer, and I'll funnel them to Melody.
Okay. Okay. All right. So no questions yet. All right. Well, if you have them, please write them down. Okay. All right. So here's our example questionnaire. All right. So does bending over increase your problem? If you say yes, mark that as a check. Does looking up? When you look up, go, whoa, I'm a little dizzy over that one. Does turning over in bed increase your problem? And does getting in and out of bed cause a problem? You know, where you're just rolling over, kind of get up and you're a little dizzy. All right. Does walking down the aisle of a supermarket increase your problem? Like you've got your cart and all of a sudden you're walking and you're going, whoa, I'm getting a little dizzy walking down the aisle. Kind of making me a little dizzy. Do quick head movements increase your problem? And because of their dizziness, is it difficult for you to walk by yourself? Right? And then is driving a car, does that increase your problem? Okay, so these are some of the questions that we would ask. All right, if the first four are in your category, like you, yes, I do get dizzy bending over and, you know, moving forward and up and back in bed, the dentist, stuff like that. Yes, then more than likely you do have BPPV. And so therefore, the treatment would be what we're going to do a little later. But if you're saying, well, you know, sometimes when I'm driving in a car, I get a little dizzy, or if I'm walking down. So that's another aspect of the vestibular system. And some of you might be saying, okay, then I've had this problem for a while, or I just started having this problem. Where should I start? Well, again, the best place to start is to go in and see your primary care physician and just let them know that you are having some dizziness when you're walking by yourself. You're just walking down and all of a sudden dizziness comes. In other words, even without head movements, you're having some dizziness. So your primary care more than likely will send you to an ENT to get your ears checked. That's always the first place that we start. We start with the ENT. You know, so primary care, ENT. Those things are very, very important because we're thinking inner ear, right? Something in the inner ear is going on. But if not, again, if bending over and things like that, then you can go to your primary care, you can go to the ENT, but more than likely they're just going to say, you have the rocks in your ears, go see Melanie. And that's what's going to happen. Or go see another vestibular therapist, right? So again, these kind of questions just kind of give me an idea of how to go about treating your vestibular issues. Now, with all of our vestibular issues, we always work on balance, gait, strength, range of motion, all of that stuff. So again, all of that incorporates, yes, all of that incorporates everything that's going on within the vestibular system. So again, if it's truly a BPPV issue, then we will just treat you right here. And then what we'll do is give you the same things that we're about to do in the clinic. Okay. So there we have it. Okay. So I think what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go actually out into the clinic, and we're going to do what we call a modified CTSIB. That's a balance test. And while we're kind of doing this transition, if I can get everybody kind of up out of your thing, okay? You're going to need a pillow. If you can't move to somewhere where you've got this issue, at least you're going to be able to stand up and do a balance test with us, okay? And I'd love for everybody to kind of get up and do a little balance test, because that's what we do in our world, is move. All right. And I think, let me go see.
We have one
this
question.
This is kind of just one more little tidbit that I wanted to do. This kind of just shows you that the otoliths, and again, the otoconia, otoliths, this is where the middle age, so they're still looking kind of white and good, but you can see as we age, they kind of crack. So the little rocks kind of come off into the inner ear, and then they get into those semicircular canals. And so we want to get them out.
Hey, we do have one question.
So we're going test and measurements. We're going to go into the clinic. I think
hey, Melody,
we're going to switch now to, are we switched?
Melody, can you hear me?
Yes.
We have a question. Somebody is saying Does all this apply to extended dizziness episodes? I often have episodes lasting from 1.5 to 8 hours. I've never had an episode that lasted only minutes.
Okay, so if it lasts that long, then definitely need to go see a doctor or an ENT. I would start with an ENT because again, it sounds a little bit more like an actual inner ear something going on.
Okay. Can you stop your screen?
I can't. Do I stop share first?
Yeah, just stop sharing and then we'll be able to see you big screen. Okay, great.
Video.
Okay, and there we go. Hey, Barker, we can see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I didn't put the camera around.
Hey, hold on one second. Go ahead and unmute Barker. You unmute, okay. And I'm going to mute Melody, I think. Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute again, Barker.
Unmute.
Okay, perfect.
All right, are we here?
All right.
Okay, and can you hear me?
We can hear you great.
Okay, yes, the thing's not working, but okay.
Don't worry about it, we can't do that.
Okay, we can't do that. All right, this is Amy. All right, and so today, like I said, we're going to do an actual balance test. This is a modified CTSOB. So what I have here is just a little piece of foam, okay? And then we're going to just start with some balance. You ready, Amy? Amy's PTA here at the office. She's always been my little guinea pig. She's like, ah. So, and if you guys go online, you can always see us. We have a lot of Facebook and YouTube. And if you have anything, so you can go to our website, and I'll give you that link in just a little bit. You can go to our website and you can find all of our snap-in-ars, all of our YouTube things, everything that we've got out there to kind of help you. Okay, so we'll just starting with the balance. So easy, you're just starting eyes open and just standing there and just seeing. And again, those of you that have issues when you're just standing, then, you know, that is a problem. That is something that we've got to address. And it may be coming from the vestibular system. It may not be coming from the vestibular system. So those are things that you want to test. The next thing, what we're going to do, right, is we're going to take vision out of it. So we're going to make her close your eyes and just see how your balance is. And you want to try to do this for 1 minute. If you can do it longer, that's great. So again, it's on a smooth surface. You're just standing, eyes open first, and then eyes closed. And you can tell she's doing really, really good. And most people do very, very well with this. They're like, okay, you might sway a little bit. You might move as you got it. But again, as long as you can maintain your balance for a minute, you're good. You passed this test. See, look at Amy. She's still got her eyes open. She's good, isn't she? Eyes open. Next, I'm going to take we have a little fancy foam thing here, but at home, you can just use a pillow. You can just get any kind of a pillow. We're going to put it down, and then we're going to let her stand right on it. Yay! Yep. So you're using the pillow, and again, we're going to have you stand on a pillow or you know, any kind of a foam surface, something that makes it uneven, right? Because remember, the feet tell the brain where you are in space. So if you're fine with this one, right? And again, you can see how she might be swaying a little bit back and forth. She might be moving a little bit, but she's still able to maintain her balance. She's still able to stay in balance, which is a good thing, right? So then the fourth part of this test is on a foam or a pillow with eyes closed. And then this is, right, as we always say, the test gets a little harder as we go into it. So the last phase is where she's actually standing on a foam, eyes closed. Now, if you're trying this at home and you want to do it, maybe get into, you know, someplace where you might have someplace to hold on, especially if you feel like your balance is not very good. But this is also wonderful. Why? Because the test is an exercise. Anytime you can stand on something uneven that makes you kind of move and you close your eyes, we're going to take your vision out of it and we're going to make you stand on that, right? Pretty cool. Yeah, 1 minute again, right? Okay, so next one, just have a seat down, Miss Aim. So our next test is just what we call a very simple test. It's just called the head shake test. And again, what she's doing is she's just going to do a nod, up and down, nod, nod. And again, about a minute, nod. And most of you can do that sitting right there at your desk. Just nod and just keep nodding, just keep nodding. As long as you don't get dizzy, if you start getting dizzy, then that's when you want to just stop, pick something for reference to look at. And usually I have my little pen or something, but I didn't bring it out. Good. Okay, and stop. So that's one way. So we want to do, we call this a yes-no test. So you're just kind of yes, and then the other one is no. No, no, no. So again, I'm going to go back while she's doing this to remember what's happening in her brain. Her vestibular system is telling her what is happening, and it's making her eyes stay stable. It's keeping her everything stable in her system. If not, the eyes would just be going all over the place because they wouldn't be able to stabilize. So that's why we're doing this test to see, number one, is she dizzy? And number two, is her eyes doing the right thing? Are they just kind of jumping all around and going crazy? Or are they actually moving? She keeps looking at me, but that's okay. She's looking forward. Is your head done? She's like, I'm done. So head shake test, very good. Easy, simple test you can perform at home. You can say, okay, well, I didn't get dizzy with those. Those were fine. My balance seemed pretty good. You know, I was a little wobbly with my eyes closed, but that just tells me what? That you just need to be working on balance. You need to get in and start working on balance, maybe some strength, you know, maybe some posture stuff, things like that. So then now we've answered all the questions. We know, number one, that when you bend forward and come up, you get a little dizzy. Woo! It doesn't last very long, not like the question we had where it lasts for hours and hours and hours. That is not BPPV. That is something else within either inner ear that she needs to go get checked out, right? So you look up, oh, I get dizzy. Whew. You know, movements in bed where you're rolling around, going to the dentist, looking up at the moon, things like that, where you get dizzy, you kind of get up, and you, and pretty soon it goes away, it gets better. All right. So the next one we're going to do we have we have a pillow. Aren't we good? Let's just get you on the blue chair, blue table, and you put your feet that way, and we're just going to get you right on your back. So you're going to get into bed. You're going to put a pillow about underneath your, there, because we want your head to hang off. Okay, and as I said, I have this on a YouTube video as well as on a Facebook video. So I'll set the links up for you and make sure that you guys have those if you want to watch this again. So I have it already on a video ready to go that you can do this, and that way you can watch it over and over again. You won't have to just sit and go, I can't see everything she's doing, because it's a lot of stuff going on right now. So what we're going to do is you're going to start on your back, and you can keep your knees bent like that. You can keep it straight, whatever you want. And it can go in your bed. That's fine. Okay, so then you're going to start moving your head, and let's start to the right. Let's start to the right. So and what she's going to do is just hang there, and you got to hang it for a minute. And even if you get in this position and you start feeling dizzy, and what do, Amy? We always have to hold on to our patients like this because they're like, I'm getting dizzy. And Amy's on one side and I'm on the other. We know you're getting dizzy. Just keep your eyes open and try to focus, try to relax, try to breathe. You're not going to fall off. It does feel like you're going to fall off, right? We have a lot of patients that go, ooh, I'm going to fall. And we have to hold them and we have to, kind of make sure, secure them. So you're going to hold it to one side, right? 1 minute. Then you're going to turn all the way just to the other side, right? And again, remember I told you guys, this is good. This is good. Some of you are probably out there going, I don't think I can turn my neck that way. I don't think I could lie that way. Guys, we spend a lot of time forward flexed over. To get on a pillow and lay back this way is just really, really good for you. It's a good stretch. It's a good way to move your neck and your head and try to get everything moving. Again, we want a system that moves freely. The worst thing that I hear my patients say is, well, it makes me dizzy to bend forward, so I don't bend anymore. So when you stop moving the head, then the vestibular system doesn't work right. It's got to move. You've got to keep it moving. It's like the muscles of your body. If you don't work them, they don't get any stronger. They just get weaker and weaker and weaker. So it's one of those move it or lose it things, right? Okay, so she's laid there for a little bit. Now I'm going to have you keep your head this way. And you're going to roll onto your left side, right? And this is the kind of the tricky part. So as you're on your left side, then I want you to try to bring your chin to chest, and you're going to look down right into the bed. There you go, right into the table. She's like, oh yeah, I remember. And so this is kind of where, you can kind of get in and just, you're breathing the things. Now, make sure that even if the first 2 ones, you turn your head one side, oh, I didn't get dizzy. The second one, oh, I didn't get dizzy. And you do this and you get dizzy, ooh, that means you got to hold them. So what we're trying to do is move those rocks through those semicircular canal. Word for the day, otoliths, right? We're moving the otoliths, the ear rocks, around in that semicircular canal to try and get everything going. Okay, so we're holding that for a minute. And then the next one, what she's going to do is she's going to come over, pull your legs over. And again, when you sit up, try to keep your head straight down, looking down, because I'm going to go right into a bow and lean. Yeah. And then she's just going to sit, and you're going to stay there for a minute. 1 minute. I'm going to move over to the other side, and she's keeping her head down. Again, even if you're not dizzy, you want to go through the movements, right? Because sometimes what happens is that rocks kind of get stuck into that fluid, into that semicircular canal area. Sometimes they get stuck, and it takes 2 or 3 times to do this. And maybe by the second or third time that you do this, that you would start feeling a little bit dizzy, right? And you're going to do these on both sides. So we're just doing it right now, a right one, but you would need to do it on both sides. And then the last one, you're going to come in and you're going to look all the way up for a bow and lean. That's it. So I kind of combine both the Dix Hall Pike, and then I go right into just an Epley maneuver and then a bow and lean. And a lot of people, this is where they feel a little bit more dizzy. And when you feel dizzy, then you just wait for it to subside, kind of moving the rocks. And just think of the rocks going into a fluid-filled thing, nice and slow and moving. Beautiful. Okay, and then she's sitting up. Now, once you've done it, if you've experienced some dizziness, then don't do any more. Don't try to go 2 or 3 times in one day. Just do one a day and, take your time. And again, if you guys, or if you're saying, you know, I tried it, I got a little dizzy, but I got scared, I didn't want to do it, then come on in. Amy and I'll be glad to help you. We'll be glad to help you, right? Okay, so I'm going to move back in to the office, and I'll give you guys the links to get into our website and where this actual piece of for BPPV treatment is in our, not only our Facebook page, but also in our YouTube page. Okay, so we're going to move back in. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, are we back?
We have a question. It says, the person is asking, do you do the other side before you look up?
No. Just look up, get it. If you experience dizziness, then don't do the other side right then. Oh, the host has stopped. Oh, start my video. Okay. Did we get that or not?
Yes, go ahead and restate that. So do you do the other side before you look up?
No. You do just what we did and then sit up as she's head down and then go back up. Okay, and again, this is the repositioning positions performed by yourself. And you can go to lakewayaquatics.com, or here is the actual YouTube link. And I don't know if you guys want to, I'll just leave that up on the screen.
If you want to put it in the comments or in the chat, put it in the chat. And then
put it comments in the chat.
Yeah, put it in
Okay,
there and people can edit, copy it.
I can do that. I can do that.
And I'm looking to see if I have any other questions. I don't see any, but anybody else have any last minute questions we can ask Melody before she gets started on her day? Well, you've already been there since 6 a.m., right?
Yes.
You start your day early.
We start early. We start early. Okay, so I will put these into the comments if that helps. Okay, chat.
And we do have another question. Do earbuds affect this? What about bone conduction headsets?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
So the question is, do earbuds affect this? What about bone conduction headsets?
Okay. Well, again, from the evidence that I've read as far as the earbuds, I know kind of what you're thinking is that, you know, the more the earbuds in it, it does affect the hearing and things like that. There has been some evidence saying as long as it's not too loud, the earbuds do not hurt, but it's always about the volume part. And again, the other part about the phone stuff, you know, I have to defer to people that are much more knowledgeable than myself on that. But, you know, I can tell you that, you know, I know we all age and we think, you know, that we should have been a little bit kinder to our hearing as we age, you know, we should have been, you know, but at this point, the best thing that you can do for your hearing is to, number one, make sure that you're going in and you're seeing an ENT, you're seeing someone that you trust to make sure that your ears are clean, make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep the inflammation and the you know, because the biggest thing is an infection in the ear. And that's really what we worry about, is an infection. The rocks is the same as the crystals. Yes, the rocks and the crystals are the same. Yes, they are. Yes. And I think a lot of people hear those terminologies because when you go to the doctors like to just kind of tell you little things. Oh, well, you have this, you have that, you have rocks in your ears, things like that. And that's why I kind of hope that it would be cool that you could take it to the next step and really understand that they are rocks. They're crystals. They actually are hard things, but they have a purpose. They're not just there because, your mother used to tell you have rocks in your brain. Maybe your mother didn't tell you, but that's what my mother used to say. You have rocks in your head. You're nuts, And so, but, they are there for a purpose. And the reasons why these things happen, it's, again, a little bit of old age, but we do know that falling and motor vehicle accidents are a big thing. When you get a head thrust, or you get, something where you've fallen and hit in your head, what we worry about, not only as a concussion, where you concussed, but also where the rocks dislodge and then you start getting dizzy after that. And we find more and more patients. That's how they can pinpoint. I never used to have this until I tripped the other day and fell flat on my face. And then 4 days later, I started getting dizzy, just bending over. And so that's where, sometimes we have a reasoning behind what has happened, and I know a lot of times it's easy to say, oh, it's old age, but there's always another reason. And falling is a big reason, because we all fall. I mean, we all trip, we all, do stuff that's crazy. And then we go, gosh, I hope nobody saw that. Hopefully I'm answering everybody's questions.
You are. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. I don't see any. I don't see any other comments. Some people are saying thank you. This is a great time for me to say thank you to you too.
Oh, good.
It was extremely informative. We're so happy to have your website. We'll go to your website and see your other YouTubes and other videos that you've done there too. But thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us.
You guys are very welcome. Good. I'm glad. I wanted to kind of make it, to where that you guys learned something, and you were like, wow, I know something now. And again, now you have a new word. You can, in trivia, when they ask you, or, you go, and they'll go, otoliths, that's not a word. You go, oh yeah, it is. I just scored a bunch of points.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for attending our webinar.
Bye guys, thank you.
And we will see you all in August. See you in August, where we talk about how to pay for retirement living. Bye everyone.